And welcome to Hannity. And tonight we are broadcasting live from the Grand Ole Opry right here in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, which is the site of the 5th Annual Patriot Awards. By the way, that kicks off tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. 6:30 p.m. only on Fox Nation. And coming up, by the way, the one and only Kid Rock right here on our set. That's going to be a lot of fun. But we do begin tonight on the West Coast, where the President of the United States, he just wrapped up a series of high-stakes meetings with the dictator of China, President Xi. Now, this after months of begging and pleading and begging and ass-kissing. Well, anyway, America's relationship with China has severely deteriorated since Joe Biden has become president, and frankly, for good reason. China, we all know, infected the world with COVID-19, a disease that killed more than 1 million Americans. There has never been any accountability. They continue to ship massive quantities of cheap fentanyl to North America. That is a drug that is killing 200 of our fellow Americans every single day. Again, never held accountable. They threaten our allies, including Taiwan and the Philippines, constantly, flying into Taiwan airspace constantly. They conduct hostile maneuvers around our military aircraft in international airspace. They confront our Navy in international waters, and Joe Biden does nothing. And, of course, they buy cheap gas and oil from Russia and Iran to make them rich, and coal from North Korea, that new axis of evil. Now, they steal our intellectual property. They use unfair trade practices, and our country is, frankly, stupid enough to actually allow communist Chinese nationals to come into our country and buy thousands and thousands of acres of farmland and thousands of acres of ranch land, and also land around our military bases. Now, by the way, Donald Trump, he challenged them, he confronted them, he warned them, he put massive tariffs, never before done, on them, and guess what? They didn't do all of this when America had a strong president. And, of course, they spy on Americans, including the bizarre spy balloon incident where a massive floating object equipped with surveillance equipment went for well over a week, traversing all across the United States over even our military installations. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump would not have allowed that to happen either, and would have shot that air balloon down much sooner. Now, there are some things that you may not know. For starters, China's economy, it is now a dumpster fire. Its draconian zero COVID policies has taken a serious toll on the country. Its real estate market is basically in a full collapse. They've had a massive population. It is in a steep decline. And its once growing middle class, that is now imploding. As a result, China is more dangerous than ever. President Xi is desperately looking for a win, and with a pathetically weak U.S. president at the helm, well, what better time than right now? Because here's Joe Biden from earlier today. Look very, very, very sleepy Joey.
I've never doubted what you've told me in terms of your candid nature in which you speak. I value our conversation because I think it's paramount that you and I understand each other clearly, leader to leader, with no misconceptions or miscommunications. We also have a responsibility to our people and the work in the world to work together when we see it in our interest to do so. And the critical global challenges we face, from climate change to counter-narcotics to artificial intelligence, demand our joint efforts.
Hey, Joe, I promise you, President Xi, China, they don't care about climate change, and they think you're stupid for paying all the money with the Paris Climate Accords. Now, Biden followed up that performance with a very short, lackluster press conference just moments ago where he called on pre-selected reporters. Hold on, let me call from, they told me to call on Joe. Okay. And then, of course, responded to their questions by reading pre-written answers. How convenient. Take a look.
And that's, now I'd like to be able to take some questions, if I may. And I'm told that Dimitri of the Financial Times has the first question. Next question, sorry, was Bloomberg. We're in a situation where we agreed that fentanyl as precursors will be curbed substantially, and the pill presses. That's a big movement. I'm embarrassed. I think it's CBS, but I can't remember who is CBS. I'm sorry.
Mr. President. Okay.
Sorry. I apologize. What do you got? Washington Post. I think that's right.
I want to talk about
there you are. Sorry, I couldn't see the light.
Got to cut Joey some slack. Now, it's way past his bedtime. That's usually 7 p.m. Eastern, and he's not used to traveling either. And to make matters worse, well, more concessions from Biden. Today, he agreed to limit the use of artificial intelligence technology in America's military, and China is threatening to invade our ally Taiwan, and we're agreeing to limit our military capabilities. Not a good idea. Experts accusing Biden of giving up what is a massive strategic advantage and calling his deal with President Xi an incredibly poor decision. Now, let's just say, I'll be kind about this. He's rather dumb, naive, and stupid, and it looks like that he wants more multi-million-dollar deals with China for him and his family and his son Hunter. Now, when will Biden ever stand up for America first? Is he even capable of making a right decision? Now, keep in mind what we told you last night. Now, just this week, Joe Biden, this week, freed up another $10 billion for the mullahs in Iran, the #1 state sponsors of terror. Yeah, the same Iran involved in the biggest terrorist attack in Israel's history. And there's, by the way, this also after a growing number of attacks against our soldiers in the Middle East, and that most experts believe they had a hand in. And today, a U.S. destroyer targeted during a drone attack from an Iranian proxy in Yemen. So how did Joe respond? Well, as per usual, he did nothing. America's enemies get favorable deals, and by the way, cold, hard cash. American soldiers, they get shot at, and nobody defends them. Is anyone surprised that Biden's approval rating just got even lower? A Quinnipiac poll just came out. Biden only has a 37% approval rating. And so tonight, as Biden is limping towards 2024, what can we expect from China?